The other point here is about all the emotion around these fuel reduction burns. The reality is I am concerned, and it's interesting now my peer in New South Wales has come out quite strongly, Shane Fitzsimmons, and said exactly the same thing, which is essentially we can't see these fuel reduction burns as a silver bullet. Yes, they are. Yes, we need to do fuel reduction burns, but they're not going to solve all our problems. It needs to be a real, what would you sort of mosaic piece of work. It's one piece of a jigsaw, if you like. And so it is about communities being prepared. Some really stark examples, and again with Black Saturday. Black Saturday, we lost 2,000 homes, 173 people perished. We only had 650 trucks on the road going to rubbish bin fires, false alarms, and indeed fighting the fire on Black Saturday. Do your own maths there, Heidi. The reality is we won't get a fire truck to every home. We've lost numerous homes in Mallacoota. We only had the 15 to 20 trucks in Mallacoota. We will not get a fire truck to every home. So people do now hopefully starting to get what we are trying to say and plan for that.
I think people are getting the messaging at that end. I think the frustration is, have we done everything we could to be as ready as we can be to this point? Yes, there's fuel reduction is part of it, but fuel reduction burning is part of it, but there is separately fuel reduction, not being able to pick up fallen trees, not being able to clear areas of properties without special permits, without jumping through hoops. I think there's the fuel reduction burning. Yes, there's other fuel reduction. Have we done as much fuel reduction as we could?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to say here is fuel reduction absolutely is important. It's an integral part of it. But I'd much sooner see fuel reduction occurring around these high populous areas, so areas that are high life risk. My priority is life and property. I don't see value in this huge fuel. So, example in Gippsland, where we had a fuel reduction burn go through in 2014, didn't slow this fire up at all. So we have had fuel reduction, but it was in nowhere near a populous area. It was in the middle of the bush. And so I'm saying, well, what's the value of spending time and effort putting fuel reduction in some of those? And yes, someone will happily argue that with me. My job is life and property. I'd much sooner see a fuel reduction around where there is life and property as part of an overall integral plan to make sure that we mitigate or reduce that risk as much as possible. Some of that we can do. We can put brakes in, we can put fire trucks in, but some is about what community do. And so we are saying the best thing to do in a lot of these cases is not be there in the first place if you're worried, because we can rebuild these homes. We can't rebuild life. And it's a statement of the obvious, but people need to remind. I had a commander in Bairnsdale who has got 30-odd plus years of service, stayed to defend his home in Sarsfield. The reality is, he said he'd never do it again. Here I have an experienced officer, was lots of years of service, had the plan, house was saved, admittedly, but he said, I'd never do it again to my family. So people need to understand it's not just the physical awareness of it, it's the emotional, the trauma that comes with it. There's lots and lots of fires around your home. It's the noise. It goes pitch black. It is scary, scary sort of stuff.